Happy New Year and welcome to another edition of Highliner News. I'm Kenzie.
And I'm Brianna. Mrs. Birchall is new to our school and is a junior high counselor providing guidance and resources to students.
With this story is reporter Brianna Coonsey.
I started off as a teaching major, and I decided at that point about my junior year of college that I really loved teaching kids and I really loved working with kids, but I wanted to work with them on a more individual basis, help them with some of the things that teachers don't always have time to help them with, even though they very much probably want to, but just being able to be kind of that person that kids can come to, be the mediator between students and teachers and students and parents, and kind of be that person that they can come to and get some of their problems kind of solved, or at least a start of being solved.
There is one main factor that Mrs. Birchall has that makes her career enjoyable.
The students that I work with. I couldn't ask for a better group of classes to start my first year, 7 through 9. Hands down, the students are the best part.
For any occupation, there are challenges and techniques to cope with them.
Not taking work home with me and letting some of those things that I might hear in my office that are pretty heavy go, and letting those things go and being able to kind of go home and enjoy my off time and then come back ready for the next day.
In the halls of VCHS, Highliner Pride is implemented in many ways that students and staff show.
Going to events, different events that students are in throughout the school year. So far, there's been band and choir concerts, there's been the play, sporting events, and just going out and supporting students and, letting them know that staff care.
Reporting for Highliner News, I'm Brianna Coonsey.
2 seniors are taking the next steps in their lives.
Reporter Abby Lemnes takes us into this edition's Senior Spotlight.
Brianna Wansick and Andrew King share what their plans are after high school.
I will be attending the University of North Dakota. I will be majoring in psychiatry. I wanted to be close to home. I didn't want to be too far away, but I wanted to get far enough away where I could meet some new people, go somewhere where I don't really know anybody, get a fresh start. I guess I'm looking forward to meeting new people, being on my own, and not having everybody to tell me what to do.
I plan to attend Applebee's for 1 year, and after that I'll come back to VCSU for 4 years and do a pre-med, and then after that go to medical school like UND or NDSU. Well, I went and toured Applebee's, and it's a really small college, and I really love how small it is and be really easy to get to know everybody. And VCSU, I kind of like how it's close to home. I guess I'm kind of just excited to know new people and start into my life and see where it takes me.
This is Abby Lemnes reporting for Highliner News.
Ever wonder how the extra events get organized at our school?
Chaser Atwood brings you the story.
I sat down with Hannah to find out what student council does and some upcoming events for the new year.
February we do snowball, so we'll be planning dress up days for that, which everyone should give student council members ideas if you want them to pick a certain day. With Step the Truck, we'll help out with charity events, and so if someone wants the students to help out with something, they'll come to us and ask us is this something that we could do? Now that they're trying to promote Highliner Pride, they ask us to do events to get people and students involved more in the school. So for each grade level, you have a president, vice president, and 3 reps now. And then there will be an executive, which is overall. And so there's 4 positions for that you can fill. And with the classes, they'll be in charge of their float planning and anything that has to do with their class. So they'll plan Stuff the Truck, where their stuff will be, stuff like that. And then executive, we just get together and we'll plan out things before we bring it to the whole student council so that we don't have everyone shouting ideas at us.
This is Chaser reporting for Highliner News.
It's that time of year again for students to make their class schedules for next year.
Let's join Hannah Sorensen as she explains some of the business electives.
As you're signing up for your classes next year, think about signing up for some business electives. In desktop publishing, students learn to use many programs such as Photoshop, InDesign, and Adobe Illustrator. I chose to take desktop publishing because I thought it'd be good to learn how to use all of the softwares. Accounting is an essential high school course if you plan on going into the business field. It really helps you understand how finances work in the background of a business or just even a personal status. Multimedia and broadcast journalism gives students the opportunity to tell stories of the community worldwide. We're getting the news to the public not only in a written form, but in a more visual form so they can see things happen. Our school's marketing class helps provide a basis of knowledge in the world of business and allows students the opportunity to be part of the DECA chapter.
Next year's students will have the opportunity to go live at things such as sporting events, morning announcements, and even on the radio with the new live broadcasting class.
For Highliner News, I'm Hannah Sorensen.
Imagine not eating what you want when you want. This is just one of the many disciplines to be a wrestler.
Reporter Kenzie Peterson heads to the mats for this story.
Knowing you are in control of how well of an athlete you can become.
It's kind of yourself and you choose how good you want to be. It's a lot easier to be successful.
Even if you didn't wrestle your best, you were still a part of the team.
You always want to be a good teammate still.
Not being able to pig out all the time is hard, but somehow each wrestler manages it in their own way.
Drink a bunch of water and just eat healthy. It's just perseverance and never giving up. And a lot of times you want to chug a bunch of water and eat a bunch of food, but you just can't.
Wrestling has its effects on and off the mat.
It makes me a better person and it helps me with discipline. It's really hard and that's why I like it.
For Highliner News, this is Kenzie Peterson.
In this edition of Pursue Your Passion, we're kicking it with Dylan.
Noelle Thompson has the story.
Freshman Dylan Quick started Taekwondo 9 years ago and hasn't looked back.
It's a lot of fun, and you put a lot of hard work and effort, and the result is pretty cool.
Dylan is not a rookie when it comes to Taekwondo.
My belt rank is first degree black belt. I will be credit testing in May, which is like a half test, and then second degree testing in December.
Though there are a lot of elements in Taekwondo, Dylan's favorite part is kicking.
My favorite move to do, it's a kick and it's a flying side kick.
Dylan has made a lot of progress since his first practice.
It's a lot of fun watching myself improve, and I definitely have come a long ways from when I first started.
For Highliner News, I'm Noelle Thompson.
The cooks do a lot more than just serve food every day.
London Dietrich has the scoop on the Highliner Diner.
We have to offer at least 2 grains every day, 2 ounces of meat or meat alternates, fruits and vegetables. The minimum is a half a cup. The guidelines come from the federal government. Food service gets a reimbursement from the government for meeting those guidelines for every meal that we serve. Sometimes we hold it until the next day. We just try not to throw those things away. We're always very happy when the kids at the end of the line are very patient. Some years ago, we visited a school that actually had a food recovery program, and the food pantry would bring over their special little pans, and then when they had leftovers, they could put the food that they had left over that day in school in those pans and put it in the freezer, and they could serve them like in the evenings to the homeless. We just like it when we serve the food that gets the kids in the door.
For Highliner News, this is London Dietrich.
Mr. Thompson, a government, economics, and psychology teacher here at VCHS, has many hobbies.
Reporter Kenzie Peterson has the story.
Some people collect baseball cards, some collect stamps, while others collect comic books. As a kid, it's easy to get lost in the worlds within the pages. Some kids want to grow up and be their heroes, but then there are some that never grow up.
I started collecting comic books probably when I was 6 or 7 years old. I kind of got some from friends and I just fell in love with the characters and the writing and the pictures and stuff like that. I probably have over 500 comic books. But I've bought comic books before that were in a bin for $2, $3, and they're worth, $50, $60 today.
Comic books aren't always just books alone, but sometimes put together in a series.
These are just two books that I brought, or I have here, but there's like 15 in this series right now, and I do have all 15 of them. So not my most expensive ones, but just a very small piece of my collection.
For many people, the things that fascinate them become a part of their life.
On this last summer, actually, on the back of my right calf, I got Heath Ledger's Joker tattooed. And a lot of people, you know, they either like it or they don't, and that's okay. But he was absolutely one of my favorite comic book characters represented in film, and I thought he did a fantastic job with that. And because I love comic books so much, and I loved his character and the way he went about doing that, I wanted to just make it a piece of me forever.
Reporting for Highliner News, this is Kenzie Peterson.
Thank you for joining us from Valley City High School for this edition of Highliner News. I'm Brianna.
And I'm Kenzie.